This is Alice Cooper, and this is The Haunting of KGGO.com, a KGGO.com exclusive.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of The Haunting of KGGO.com. This is a KGGO.com exclusive. My name is B-sox. I'm your host during this little adventure into the paranormal where we talk to local paranormal groups about investigations and weird things and everything that goes bump in the night. And just for those of you who may be listening and it sounds a little bit different, or maybe you're watching the video version of this, you may notice that we are not in the KGGO studio like usual. That's because we're on location. Joining me here on the Haunting of KGGO.com, ladies and gentlemen, from H Paranormal and the caretakers of Farrar Middle School, William Conkel and his wife Jacquelyn. What's going on, guys?
Elementary, sir.
Elementary. Oh, God.
Hi, everybody.
I know when I said it, you were like, oh, God.
Did you see my face?
I just had a bee on me.
Got it.
Anyways, so, hey, guys, welcome to the Haunting of KGGO.com. And first, let me thank you so much for letting us come in and do the show from Farrar Elementary.
Thanks for coming. We're excited about the boiler room.
The boiler room. Now, we'll get into Farrar here in a little bit, but before we get there, I want to know a little bit more about you guys because, one, you know, you're kind of the caretaker. Is that the proper term for it?
Yes.
Caretaker of the building. You're in H Paranormal. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you guys jump into this world of the paranormal?
I just been fascinated my whole life. I never had a profound experience that got me there. We lived in haunted houses in the 80s. Okay. And you just didn't talk about it then.
Oh, really?
So
for you back then in the 80s when this is kind of happening to you, whatever this haunted house was, it was just, nope, we don't talk about that.
Yes.
We just move on.
Yeah, and I just recently had a conversation with a couple guys that, you know, and it wasn't something that was written. We don't talk about this. It's just nobody talked about it.
Okay.
And I like the only thing to me that is really good about these TV shows is now people are interested and they talk about it.
There is a little bit more of acceptance out there in paranormal.
Most definitely.
Everybody wants to do it. Everybody, and I think the only drawback to it is I think there's a little bit of people want that fame that kind of goes with it.
Right.
But no. So haunted house, you grew up in one. Yes. That's kind of your beginning in all this, correct? Mm-hmm. How about you?
Basically, I would say the same. I mean, I started having paranormal experiences basically as far back as I can remember. Okay. And it absolutely terrified me. And I had to figure out, like, what is this? Why did it choose us? You know, what is this? And that's what drove me to become a paranormal investigator. And it was actually worse than that. I mean, there was a time I was probably it's like right when I started, about 10 years ago, to where stuff just got so active around me all the time. I mean, stuff would be like banging around my head at night. Stuff would be moving my bed, just stuff constantly. And I was finally like, enough. You know, I have to do this. I have to face my fear and try to figure out what this is. So I got a recorder and they immediately started talking to me, like immediately.
But what changed your mind? What got you going?
What got me going? Do you want to hear the story? It's kind of
no.
It's kind of not today. No thanks. It's kind of crazy, and actually telling it to this many people is like insane to me.
Okay, so what was the moment that you were like, okay, there is something to this? Because just to kind of set this up, I think there are different ways that people kind of get into this stuff, and you know, something happens. Don't know what it is. We don't talk about it. That's like one road people go down. There are people that same situation, but they're like, I want to know what happened. So they jump into it. Or there's people that are just curious and so on and so forth. Or the one that I think is the big one is something happened. I can't process it or explain it. I need to know more about it.
And that's exactly what happened to me and my twin sister when we were, I believe, 11. We were 10 or 11 years old. and my life has never been the same. And hers hasn't either. My dad had built on to our house when we were kids, right? To make it bigger for everybody because, the family was growing.
Yeah.
Well, he had just built on 3 bedrooms to our house. Well, it was the very first night, all this happened the very first night me and my twin sister ever slept in our new bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, my dad and mom's room was across the hall, like catty corner across the hallway, but they weren't in their room yet. Like they hadn't actually moved in.
Yeah,
and my brother was in the room next to us, and he actually had my older sister sleeping with him because he was scared.
Okay.
Well, my twin told me, okay, we're 11 years old. We had bunk beds. She was on the top bunk.
What's your sister's name?
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yes, my twin sister, Jessica. I love you. She's amazing.
Shout out.
Yes, shout out. Yeah, because this is definitely our experience. I mean, this was the both of us.
Okay.
Well, she was on the top bunk. I was on the bottom bunk. She actually woke up in my bed and didn't know how she got there. She's like, okay, this is strange. So she just crawled back. She didn't notice anything at first. So she crawled back into her bed on the top bunk. Well, then she's seen a whole bunch of crazy stuff, came back in my bed, and then proceeded to, wake me up.
What did she see?
Well,
and let me ask you this: where was this house?
This house was
it
is still in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Okay.
Yes, and that's where I was born and raised, and this is where this happened. Well, I woke up and she's in a panic, waking me up. Well, we look and our room's pitch dark in the room, and our bedroom door was like kind of opened up, say like kind of like this, and then you have the door right here, and then the door's open
I needed
this way.
to bring a whiteboard today.
Yes, you did. I could draw this much better. Well,
or I'll just put on the video some like crazy scratch marks and stuff.
Yes,
a bed and a couple stick figures.
Yes, exactly. That'll nail it. But on the door that's opened up, on the door, there's these lights, and they're like these perfect rectangular lights. There's a big one, a medium one, and then a smaller one.
Okay.
Well, also with these lights, there's a violin music playing, like a slower type violin music playing. Well, with these lights, with the music, these lights are going blink, blink, blink.
So so that was the ghosty part, was there for some reason there was lights on the door that were blinking.
Yes.
And there was violin music playing.
Yes, but then it gets not better. To me, I still think it gets
awesome.
think it gets worse. It absolutely terrified me. And also there's no cars around the house. There's no street. We lived on a dead end. Like there's no way lights could have came in like
dead
that.
End.
Yes. Last house on the left. No.
It's actually on the right.
The right. Yeah. But the lights are going blink, blink, blink. Well, you look into my parents' bedroom, and there is this figure standing there. It's probably about, I say it's tall as Will.
And you're a tall guy.
Yeah, he's 6'9", giant person.
Yeah.
6'9", huh?
Yes.
There's a half.
But there's this dark shadow figure standing in my dad's bedroom, and it looked like it had a cloak on, it's completely pitch black.
Yeah.
But it's people that have seen like black shadow figures know what I'm
shadow
talking
people,
about.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's somehow darker than like the darkest black you could imagine.
I know.
Yeah. Well, it's standing there and it's like a cloaked hooded figure, kind of like a monk or something. Like it's sitting there and it's got its head down. The hood's going like over its face. You can kind of see like where the face would be, but no definite facial features or anything like that. Like you can just, he's there. Well, every time these lights and the music would go blink, 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 he would take a step closer to us, or it would take, I'm getting goosebumps right now, still remembering. It would take a step closer to us.
Really?
And we're, 11, and we're both, trembling. We're hiding under the blanket. We were talking about this at the last event. The blanket's like a safety blanket when you're little.
It always is. That and not having a foot over the edge of the bed.
Yeah, just hide and keep your foot in. I mean, that's all you got to do. But we're sitting there and we're both, I remember just being covered in sweat, like shaking, crying. At this point, we don't know what's going on. We're just, looking back and forth, telling each other I love you, I love you too. We're holding each other.
This is how it ends. That's where you guys are at right there.
Yeah, we thought we were going to die. I mean, I don't know. Well, we're praying, God, please help us.
Yeah.
Like we were in Sunday school and everything when this happened, and we're praying and praying, no help came. But this
that
thing,
you know of.
Yeah. Well, this thing just kept taking a step closer to us. And it seemed like it went on forever. Blink, 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 take a step.
Yeah.
Well, we knew at this point, the way this is going, it's going to eventually come into our room. Like it's going to.
So what happened?
Okay. We made a plan. She was the closest one to...
Got a Nerf gun out.
Yeah. I wish we had a Nerf. That would... No. Fear. Straight fear. Like, you hear about people like being so scared they can't like do anything.
Yeah. Flight or fight.
Yeah.
Flight or
yes, we couldn't scream. I mean, I wish I could have. We couldn't scream. We couldn't do anything. We were just whispering back and forth like in terror. Well, we made a plan. If it takes one step into our room, we have to jump up and turn on the light, which the light switch was, of course, directly next to the door with all the lights and the figure. It took a step into the room. We jumped up. She was the first one. And it's crazy because now, like, I'm always, like, kind of, no offense, Jessica, like the stronger one to where we've had paranormal experiences our whole lives. And it's always, I go first. She always holds on to me. I go first. I check it out. And she jumps up. I have a hold of her. We turn on the light switch.
Yeah.
We turn it on, and the lights are gone. The music's gone. The figure's gone. Poof, like it all just disappeared. Okay. We ran into my little brother's room, and it actually ended up being my stepmom was sleeping with him. And we woke her up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We're terrified. She comes in there, sleeps with us. Well, the next day, me and my twin are still absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
Told my parents, they told us it was our imagination. That,
both of us?
Yes, yeah, that it was our imaginations, all that. And it actually goes on to be a lot more than that, to where now he believes me. He absolutely 100% believes in me, but I don't know if I want to go into that whole story on the air.
Okay.
But he absolutely believes me now, which is amazing. I confronted him about it when I was like 21, and he believes me, and then explained, like, basically we're 11. He's not going to say, oh yeah, there was a demon or whatever in your bedroom.
It's like that meme of, Dad, can we go stay in a haunted house? What's wrong with this one? Mm-hmm. What? Good night.
Yeah. And he didn't want to scare us, but that right there was a turning point in my life. Like, I feel like if that would not have happened, my life would be 100% different than it is today. And I will never forget it. Like, I will never forget it. I was terrified of the dark until I was, I don't know. I still sleep with the light on. Like, I'm not even going to lie. And I'm a paranormal investigator, so I face my fear every time I investigate. So...
Now, this is the haunting of KGGO.com, a KGGO.com exclusive. My name is B-sox. We're at Farrar Elementary. I've always called it middle school. Why is that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It was a K through 12 in an elementary school.
Yeah. Anyways, you can find out more about Farrar Haunting at Farrar.com, correct?
Yep.
It's also got a Facebook page and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We'll have the information at the bottom of the page. Of course, joined by Will and his wife, Jacquelyn. Is it Jackie or Jacquelyn?
Jacquelyn. Or
Okay.
Jack.
Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Say it like she's French.
There you go.
Jacquelyn.
All right, so let's fast forward a little bit. You guys, you created H Paranormal, right?
He did. I actually created Iowa Paranormal Spirit Chasers.
Okay.
Years ago.
Is that still around? Or?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But H still going right now. What kind of investigations and stuff do you guys do? And what's kind of your bread and butter, I guess?
We do. We help people on private investigations.
Okay.
That are fearful. The lightest or the darkest kind of haunting ever. We want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do more just the private residence. Is that kind of what I'm getting out of this?
Well, we also do the investigations here, the events here.
For Farrar.
But yes, a lot of people they're just fearful of it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, they don't have to be fearful. They just need to take charge.
Okay. Yeah, see, I've heard that a lot, that it's a matter of, like, if someone keeps moving your keys, say, stop moving my keys. Mm-hmm. Feel free to hang out if you're here. Yeah. Just leave my keys where they're at.
Yeah, a lot of the time, they just want you to know that they're there.
Okay.
They just want to know. But my thing is, like, if I can help one person in doing this, then that's worth it to me. Yeah. Because, I see people now, and it's amazing to me. People come to these events, and they have some of their kids with them. And they're, I look at them, and they are right about the age that I was when I had my experience. And when I was that age, there was nobody to go to. Yeah. I didn't have any help. Nothing, and
there probably wasn't as ready access to everything with the internet and all the garbage out there about you do this is what you have in your house. It's kind of like diagnosing yourself on WebMD or something.
Yeah,
but
we didn't even have dial-up or flip phones when I was.
Well, in your, I was gonna make a Stone Age thing, but.
But it's just amazing to me now,
Yeah.
you know, that these kids are here and they're so into it and they're not scared.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing to me. Like, I wish that I could have been doing that at their age and not so absolutely terrified like I was.
See, like for me, I didn't know my dad would, like, I knew he kind of got into this stuff a little bit, but not until much later did I think, oh, let's go on, you know, ghost hunts. You know, and investigations and stuff with different people. And here he is. He'll have his K2 and his recorder and his flashlight and stuff, and he's always just ready to go, interested in coming. So
I love it.
now let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, so CNH, more private investigation. So I don't know if we want to get too much into you know, some of those stories, just because of, you know, the people involved. But if people do want to contact you for that kind of stuff, they can, probably through the website or Facebook or something like that is probably the best way to do it.
Yep, CNH Paranormal on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have links at the bottom of the page, like I said. Let's go to Farrar, because it's not too often that you meet a group or people that are the caretaker of a haunted location. And here we are in the boiler room of a haunted location. And I love that you picked the boiler room for this. Yeah. I thought, oh, maybe we'll do like the principal's office or, you know, something like that. No, the boiler room. No. So how did you guys get kind of involved with Farrar? And let's talk about Farrar, because before about, 5-10 years ago, this wasn't known as a haunted hotspot, correct?
Right, yes.
So tell us this, or why is this all of a sudden one of the places that people want to come to?
I've talked with several ex-students, alumni to Farrar, and it's a 50-50 deal if it was haunted then,
okay,
or it wasn't. I became involved with the schoolhouse when my brother from another mother, Seth, CCPI,
the Bigfoot hunter.
Yes.
He's awesome.
No, I like Seth.
Sick.
He's okay. I mean, let's face it. He's okay. He did move to New York on us.
I know.
He did bail on us.
Yeah, he bailed on Iowa. Nice, Seth. Nice job.
Bastard.
So anyways, how'd you get involved here?
Well, I found out I was a HVAC refrigeration technician, and one of our sales reps came out here to...
I'm going to move your mic just a little bit closer.
I'm moving my head around, too.
There you go. Hey, look at that.
Is that hiding her beautiful face?
No,
but
she
no.
can move.
One of our sales rep from the company I was working for came out to bid this lovely HVAC system, and he heard that I was involved, or I was interested in this kind of thing.
Okay.
And he came and he says, "Hey, listen, I just went and bid this AC install for this haunted school."
Okay.
I'm thinking haunted school. It's like May. They're getting ready for Halloween already. No. With real ghosts. I told him bid it low and I'll do it for free, right? And he didn't. We didn't get the job. Now I'm fixing it for free. I just delved into it and I told my kids about it, and they booked a night for me for Father's Day.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay? Yeah, so we were all going to come in. And at the time, I was trying to branch out into my private contracting business, and I was remodeling a house.
Okay.
Changing its complete footprint, and it was completely haunted. My Lord, it was fantastic.
The house or?
The house.
Okay.
And we stirred it up by ripping out all the walls.
Yeah. How dare you move that door?
Yeah. Well, it took us 4 months, and every night at cleanup, we were trying to hone our paranormal skills.
Okay.
And so I called Nancy. She's heard this story 20,000 times.
Well, you heard her other story 30,000 times, so it's fine.
Yeah. I called Nancy to book the night, and I'm telling her about this house and what's going on in it. And told her I was a private contractor, and all she heard was Charlie Brown's teacher. It's like, wah, 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 private contractor, wah, 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 wah. So, Booked the night. 2 days later, she calls me and says, "Hey, we got a couple projects we want you to come give an estimate on.
Okay.
Come on out." So I do, and it was leaking. The roof was leaking like a sieve. I told her, "Buy the materials. I'll do it for free." Since then, I had the front door keys as a building engineer.
Yeah.
Seth Olney stepped down, and Jim asked me to take care of the paranormal side of things. So I call Seth, get his blessing, and Jim says, "You need a team." "No, I don't need a team." "Yeah, you do." "All right, CNH."
What's the CNH stand for?
It stood for Conkel Hildebrand, but my brother went on to different things, so now it's just Conkel Hawk, her maiden name.
Oh, okay.
It worked out.
Oh, look at that. It's like fate.
It's fate.
It was
It's
fate.
complete fate.
All right, so you kind of take over this
So I
place
took it over.
as, you know, essentially just the maintenance guy.
Yeah, caretakers.
But caretaker
Well,
sounds a
at
lot
first-
better.
Well, at
but
first
but
you
I'm-
were kind
but
of like
that's
the
Yeah,
engineer
yeah,
first. That's
yeah.
what you
but
were.
that but so you get in here, you start, you know, repairing the building, doing the roof, doing this, doing that, doing the paranormal side of things.
Yes.
When was that exactly?
2011, 2010.
Wow, so it's been a while that you've been the head honcho here.
Yes, sir. Head honcho. I like it.
I don't feel
I
like it's
like
been
it.
that long.
It has.
Well, time with
Seth left in 2011.
Well,
is this going to be a spat on air?
no. I'm just trying to think because we've been together for 5 years. 5 years, and you became like the caretaker, like right.
Way to shut
No.
down the interview here,
No.
Jack.
No,
I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm just thinking.
2011.
What was it?
We'll say that.
Okay.
All right,
Seth left
2011.
2011.
So, okay, so you kind of take over here. Let's talk about the building itself. Because like I said, up until a certain amount of time ago, and certainly my first time here was, God, it's been a while.
Yeah.
You know, you hadn't heard about Farrar as one of the places like, you know, a Villisca or, you know, an Edinburgh or anything like that. It just, all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, this school is haunted and people want to come be here. Why? What's the story here? What's the history?
Well, it and nobody can tell you why it's haunted. There's nothing terrible that
I have
happened.
lots of theories.
Yeah. And the schoolhouse ran as a school, as an educational facility since till 2004.
Yeah.
Sat empty for 4 years when the Olivers bought it. Okay.
I'm sorry, if I remember the story right, they wanted to make it into like a wedding hall
Yes.
type party, like reception hall rented out for people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and
But then the ghost didn't like that.
Yes,
And
and the ghost.
well, a local psychic named Jackie Carpenter from Maxwell drove by. God rest her soul. She lost her battle to cancer. She was driving by, felt something, knocked on the door, said, "Hey, Nancy, I feel something going on here. Can we come and investigate?"
Okay.
So they
So
did.
when they bought it, they didn't know that it.
No, they had no clue.
Okay.
No, so Nancy just fell in love with it.
Okay.
So Jackie, Nancy, and Nancy's sister, and I believe there's one other one, went in investigating it.
Okay.
And they went in with a voice recorder in the second floor boys' bathroom and got EVP of a little boy in disgust saying, "She's in the bathroom. There's a girl in the boys' bathroom."
Really?
Yes. And after that, Jackie just urged the Olivers to open the doors and let people experience it. And the rest is history after that.
Thank goodness. I mean, I mean, thank goodness. Like, this school has brought so much to me, you know, and him. Like, it brought us together.
Yeah.
My previous team, like, was Googling, like, for my birthday, like, places in Iowa that were close.
Okay.
And Farrar just happened to be on the map. So we came here, and I could not believe how active it was. My very first night investigating here, it was insane. I mean, we had stuff, like, moving. We were seeing figures, like, we were hearing people talking and laughing and running in the halls, and I just could not believe the activity that was here. And after that, I was absolutely hooked. I'm like, I want to come here as many times as I can, you know, always.
She
So-
booked the schoolhouse like 15 times before I was even a part of it.
Okay. All right. So they kind of open it up, let people start coming in. what are the theories of why it's haunted?
I got several theories.
Because, and the only reason I ask, and not to cut you off again, because I'm getting really rude with that today, and I can see you want to fly over this table and just murder me. Add one more ghost to this whole thing. But, you know, take Villisca. Mm-hmm. People have a pretty good idea of why Villisca, is haunted because, it's an axe murder house. Places that are, used to be hospitals, places that used to be, just a graveyard in general or whatever. You have a general idea. When you hear school, you don't necessarily go down the road of, that's got to be haunted and that's got to be really active. What is the theory about this place?
There's several theories. I could talk all day and we'd run out of time on the history. So I'll do a Reader's Digest. First off, the Bacojay Indians inhabited this land.
Okay.
They were their names later changed by the Sioux to the Iowa, which is where we got our name for our state. Then they got pushed off. We have a tree outside here that gives off energy. It's alive. Had a crazy experience with that I'm still trying to put that together. To me, that's why it's haunted, is this tree, and the land is haunted, and the house is...
I'll put a picture of the tree up, in the video part of this, so if you're watching it on video, you can see it.
She's known as... The funny thing is she's known as Grandmother Oak, and she's 265 years old. The tree. She's seen this land change so much, 265 years, and... For the longest time, I've been calling her Grandmother Oak and offending a 265-year-old elm tree. But her name's still Grandmother Oak, for the love of Pete.
And I have other theories, too. For one, there's a cemetery directly across the street.
Yeah, I was going to say there is that.
Yes, it is directly across the street. And I personally have seen, this is just in the cemetery, when I was standing outside here, middle of the night.
Yeah.
Me and one other person saw it, like a bright ball of orange light, like this big, bright orange, slowly go all the way across that entire cemetery. Lots of people have seen people actually, figures coming from, that side of the road in the cemetery, crossing over into the playground area. There are multiple children spirits here, not nice ones. There's a little girl here that I just love to death. But I feel like the reason there might be little kid spirits here is because, say, kids at home are having a really bad home life.
Okay.
Their home lives are really bad. So when they come to school, it's their favorite place. They're with their friends. They're with, just having a blast. Say maybe if a child passed, why wouldn't they come back to their favorite place? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of my theories with that. And there's been multiple
1920s, the kids' personal home life was work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been quite a few different people, like psychics and things, that say there's two portals here. Mm-hmm. People believe that there's one down here, right? Yeah. There's down here in the boiler room, and they also believe that there's one also upstairs in the principal's office, which I've had some wild experiences in here and the principal's office.
How old is the building?
It's going to be 100 years old. It was class commenced 1922, April Fool's Day.
No way, really? April Fool's Day? Of course. It had to be. So your theory, it starts way, way back when with a tree that I do not want to offend. And energy from bad home lives or just people, wanting to be here.
Yeah, and just passing through.
What the portal thing? Now, you and I, we've talked about this before a little bit. Tell me about portals and the possibility of them.
It's basically a revolving door for spirits. It's an in and out. They're supposed to have kind of like on Ghostbusters, a gatekeeper.
Okay.
We're not supposed to be able to see them.
Okay.
So they come and go. I've had a couple psychics actually refer to the schoolhouse, look at the scenario of a train station or an airport. You've got the people that work at the train station airport that are here all the time.
Okay.
And then you have your passerbys, the travelers.
So by that theory then, if I'm getting it right, you have steady ghosts that are always here. And then you have other ones that kind of come and go.
Yes.
Okay, so that could kind of lead to why there are different experiences in different parts of the school house, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if somebody is coming to Farrar Elementary, as I scoot up, that was just me, everybody.
It wasn't a ghost.
That was not a ghost that we know of. I'm waiting to like go through this in the editing process and be like, oh my God.
Like, see if there's audio or something. I mean, there really might be.
We're running 3 mics right now.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So if someone is coming to Farrar to investigate, and which do it by the proper means, go to the website, set up an appointment, that sort of thing, correct?
Correct.
Haunting@farrar.com.
Because people do live here. This is not abandoned. People do live here at this school.
So what can they expect? Like, if I'm bringing my paranormal investigative group in, what am I looking at? What am I in for? Where should I go in the building? What can you tell me?
This is what I say every time, and I'm glad you asked the question. Come in expecting nothing.
Okay.
Don't go online and research every little experience anybody has ever had.
Okay.
If you've already done that, brush that off as a really cool story.
Okay.
And then wipe it out of your brain.
Okay.
Because in my opinion and a lot of people's, the schoolhouse will give you your own personal experience.
Okay.
Don't come in and try to recreate somebody else's experience, because you're probably going to leave disappointed.
Okay, let me ask you this. In all my time here, and we've talked about this before, I've never had that experience here, or at least one that I can go, okay, I really can't explain this. You know, whether or not, you know, it's a camera that, you know, has something in it. It's hard, you know, for me to go, okay, that's,
see it.
You know, I haven't had that experience. Why? Does nobody like me?
No.
Is that what this comes down to?
I don't. You'll see it when it's
Jacquelyn talked to the little girl and said, no.
Do not play with him.
Creepy.
He's a weirdo.
He is not good people.
No, it hasn't been your time yet.
Okay.
You'll get there on your own time. It's like fishing.
Yeah, you go out sometimes.
Put your hook in the water and leave it and wait. Just
okay.
Be patient.
I'm going to ask you both this question because I think you'll both have different answers to it. What's your most memorable experience? Not that it has to be scary or anything like that, but the one moment that you're like, wow, there really is something going on here. We'll start with you, Jacquelyn.
All right. Well, my absolute favorite experience
I won't have time
ever.
to answer.
This has been, Okay, history tour. No, just kidding.
Well, I've heard about your tours.
Oh my goodness.
Like, Jesus, are we ever going to take a picture?
Well, it was probably, I think, like maybe the second time I was ever here with my previous group. So this has been, definitely some years ago. But it was one of the most exciting experiences I've ever had, like on an investigation, really ever. Okay. We were upstairs in the auditorium, which is my favorite area.
Okay, the auditorium, which for those of you watching on video, right now is when you'll see the auditorium. Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing. It just really is. I've had tons of experiences in there. Well, it was me and 3 other people, and we're all sitting on the stage. And throughout the entire night, which is amazing by itself, we'd been getting them to like knock over this half-flat soccer ball off. We had like a broken tripod set up, and you could set the soccer ball on it and like poke it and make sure it wouldn't fall on its own.
I was going to say, they're devil's advocate on something like that. When you prop something up,
yes, you prop something up
on a surface like a tripod.
I mean, we were testing it, and we were poking at it and jumping around and making sure it didn't do it on its own. Well, they did that multiple times throughout the night, like on command. Like, can you knock it off on the count of 5 and things like that? And they would, which blew my mind in itself. Well, towards the end of the night, they stopped doing that. Well, a fellow investigator of mine, he was sitting on the stage, and he had the soccer ball and the tripod right in front of him. Okay. And he had his flashlight like this, and the flashlight was actually pointing at the soccer ball.
Okay.
Well, me and 2 other people were sitting on the on the bench that's up there. There's a table and a bench, and we're sitting on there. And I'm not sure who noticed it first, but he's sitting there really, really focused on what he's doing. And we look over, and in the light of his flashlight is this like ball of like smoky like mist, probably about this big. and it was just swirling in his lap while he's holding his flashlight. And it was there long enough to where all three of us were like, look, 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 and he noticed it. And we're all just in awe over, what this is. And it just swirled there for a while and went like this and was gone. Man, it blew all of our minds. All four of us seen it. I mean, nobody was moving at the time, but you have me after that jumping up and down on the stage, trying to recreate like a dust or something, and nothing we did could recreate anything like that. And I have never seen anything like that in my entire my paranormal career. Like that is I've never seen anything like it. Like I've seen shadow figures and I've seen lights and stuff move and just the weirdest things, but as ball of mist, smoke, swirling. I mean, something like right out of a movie or something.
It's always something like that where you know exactly what you saw. And if you saw a picture of it, you'd be like, that's it.
Yep, and all four
But it's so hard to describe what
I literally came down after that, went right to the safe room and got on Google and tried to Google what I just saw because I could not. Yeah, people call it the safe room, which it's really not safe. I've had tons of activity in there too. But it's basically where people go and set up, and especially when it's cold or really hot.
Okay.
We have air in there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, air in there, heat in there, fridge, so if you book overnight, you have like a comfy place to go. So we call it the safe room. Well, go down there. I'm on Google. What is this? And the only thing Google could come up with was like ecto mist.
Okay.
So now it's an ectomist. That's all I got.
You saw Slimer.
Yeah, I saw slime. I saw Slimer. It was amazing.
Perfect. How about you, Will?
I guess I've seen so many. Okay, sitting here thinking during her long, drawn out story.
Remember, you got the day off, as I recall, and had plans. And such a beautiful head of hair.
This story is fantastic.
Jeez, look at it. If we had only had a fan.
Bring back the 80s, man. The team came in, CNH, we do all the events here, and events are actually hard work to make sure our guests have a good time. So we just came in one night, let our hair down, and have a good time. All right, and just investigate. And we're up on the third floor. Jacquelyn's off in the back corner of the auditorium by herself.
Okay.
As she does. I'm out in the hallway by myself.
Okay.
And our daughters are on the stage. And I'm staring at the shadow figure on the south end of the hallway. And when she disagrees with me, I don't. This is the way I feel. When you become caretaker, you see all of this stuff, and the paranormal just becomes the normal. Okay, and I actually get bored with it sometimes.
I would never, ever, ever get bored of a shadow figure standing in front of me. Never.
I got a shadow figure. I'm watching him. It's cool. I'm enjoying it, but I get bored with it.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to turn away, and Jacquelyn yells out, "Did you guys just hear a little girl giggle?"
Clear as day. I'm sitting there and just like a happy little girl giggle. It's like, what in the world?
And I go to turn, and just as I go to turn, our daughter Chelsea does a quick on and off of the flashlight.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's going to try to catch a ghost with the flashlight or whatever. Sorry, Chelsea, I love you. But as she does that, the light from the flashlight shining through the door jamb and the line there.
Yeah.
And I turn into about a 4-foot solid apparition of a little girl. Okay. I can sit and stare face to face to a shadow demon and think it's the coolest thing in the world. But a little girl, that startles the hell out of me. And we've got these metal lockers lining the hallway. I jump left straight into them. Bam!
Yes, and I'm freaking out.
And they don't know what happened. They're freaking out.
Because I hear a little girl ghost giggle, and like immediately after, bam! He slams it. I'm like, are you alive?
And then
did they get you?
Then they realize I'm okay after I start laughing like a schoolgirl at my reaction.
Oh boy!
But I've seen her twice, and both times I reacted the same way.
So I want to get to the events you guys do, the study halls, I think they're called.
Yes, sir.
So you've had different experiences with stuff here. For the most part, is what's here on the spectrum of good and dark and all that, where does it kind of lie? Because if there's a little in the middle, so there's some good here. There's also some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people have amazing happy experiences, and other people will just.
Yeah, I don't want to say, because I never want to pin just evil on something or something like that. But it's trying to find the right word for it. And it's tough.
Well, there's
something darker, maybe.
There's darkness here. There's no evil. The way I like to describe that in this scenario is some stranger you don't know, you've never seen in your life, comes into your front door and sits on your favorite easy chair.
Yeah.
And you tell them to leave. And they don't. They just keep asking you why. And you don't leave. You keep telling them to leave. They don't get out. Well, that's going to make you pretty darn dark. Okay.
So you think there's more kind of a protective type?
Yeah, there's protective, and then
why are you in my house type thing?
Yeah.
There's just a mean jerk.
Because this is
there is. He likes to mess with people. He likes
the big jerk.
People. Yes, he is not nice. He tends to make people feel angry, like super, super angry, sick, sad, frustrated, just not good. Intentionally tries to scare you, comes through spirit boxes and says constant negative things to you.
So on the recording here, I'll probably have something.
Maybe he likes to think he's a big bad demon, but.
I should have told you to keep looking to see if it's still recording this whole time.
Because he does, and I don't think
I'm watching right now.
I don't think he actually is, but he likes to say that he is.
Mm-hmm. So the boiler room, who's down here?
The jerk guy.
Is he really?
I have been investigating here for many years, and I'm telling you right now, something about sitting down here by myself freaks me out way more.
Well, it's a boiler room.
But I sat on death row in Missouri State Pen and was less freaked out. Missouri State Pen is amazing. I just want to say I did have some amazing experiences there.
So what experiences have you had in this very room that we're doing this recording?
I have heard
the chair starting to get to your back.
Yeah,
I have heard
6'9",
growling in here. We both heard it. There was growling in here, and I just don't like it in here. I've had stuff come through my spirit box before that was mimicking he was there. We were sitting here for 20 minutes of just silence coming through the spirit box. And next thing you know, you've got creepy baby crying. You've got bells that I heard. I had a kind of a traumatic experience as a kid where me, my twin, and our other sister heard bells all night long in our house. Somebody was pacing back and forth with a bell all night. And the spirit box, I don't know what it was, but knew exactly what that bell sounded like. Came through the spirit box, those exact same bells, and then just starts saying evil, demon, all this. And then, you get me getting all, at this point, I'm getting worked up and mad because I feel like it's messing with me. Next thing I know, he's dragging me out of here, you're getting way too into this and serious right now.
I was going to say, your energy level is picked up on that when we start talking about this room.
Yeah,
God.
I see. It does. I've just been messed with in here. I feel like something tries to draw me in here to be alone in here for whatever reason.
Wow.
I don't know. Women get touched a lot in here. I just don't like it in here.
Now, just devil's advocate type thing. There are high voltage boxes in here.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be something to do with it? Because they talk about whatever the field is or the energy that gets put off from those kind of messages.
Certain people, yes, it affects certain people.
Okay.
And
I'm not trying to cut down, but that's the first thing everybody always goes through is your lamp is peaking red here on the K2. You might want to think about that might be the issue. So, what about you? What have you experienced down here?
This is was it the first or second time? It's one of the times I seen the little girl down here as well.
Really? Down here?
Yeah.
Of all places in the school, the little girl would appear down here.
Following him, I'm sure.
Could have been.
Messing with him, I'm sure he freaked out. It was amazing. I was upstairs and I'm watching on the DVR and we're testing stuff and I'm up there and he's down here and I'm just watching stuff and he starts freaking out on the camera because he was seeing it. And while he was seeing he's seen her and at the same time he was seeing her. Yes, you were.
I wasn't freaking out.
You were. You always say both times I seen her, I acted inappropriately. You always say,
that's not freaking out.
Okay, he acted inappropriately. He didn't freak out. But I'm upstairs and I'm in the hallway watching him.
I did not act like a professional paranormal investigator. Is what happened.
And
I may have screamed a little bit. It's not that big of a deal.
And I'm just up there hearing like all sorts of stuff, like back and forth, like next to me knocks and just all this wild stuff up there. And then as I'm having all that experience up there, he's down here seeing a little girl. But lots of people. I've got. It's really cool. It was during an event.
Right through her.
There was like probably 15 people or so, like crammed in there with me. Okay, and I'm in the very back.
And I think the GoPro might be able to get that over there. That little room right
here,
right?
Yes, and we are all packed in there, and I'm in the very back, and I've got my spirit box going. And this voice comes through, and it is so, like, it's just this really weird, creepy voice. And I'm like, man, to everybody. And I'm like, well, that was creepy. Immediately after I said creepy, a voice came through, clear as day, and was like, creepy. Right after I said creepy, everyone was like, what was that? The whole group heard it.
That's insane.
It really was. Just messing with me. I know it. Something in here messes with me. Mm-hmm. You can tell the way I'm acting. I'm like, oh, I just know.
And I like that this is the room that you picked for this interview to happen. Now, knowing the building as you guys do, like when people come in to do stuff like this, what's kind of the thought of the building, if you will? Like, is that kind of acceptable type stuff? Is it cool? Or are we just setting ourselves up for my computer to explode? Which please don't. This is my baby.
So you're asking what like the building thinks about it?
I guess, or the inhabitants, so to speak.
Gotcha.
I mean, because if you're talking about, people that come into your house and sit down and won't leave, me coming in and setting up 3 cameras and some microphones, I mean, is the building accepting of that, I guess?
I would say most. We got the darkness in here, the creepy, angry old man. He doesn't care much for it, but if you come in with much respect, clean heart, pure thoughts, you're going to have a better experience anyway.
The pure thoughts might be a problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you check my phone's history.
Yeah. If anybody's heard you on the radio.
Oh, come on. But I mean, that is kind of a thought because,
yeah.
Do you think, let me ask you this, and this is going to sound crazy. Do you think there's anybody in here with us right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Well,
we have an audience.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, I feel like me personally, I have multiple spirits that follow me around everywhere I go. So, like, they're here. And then I'm sure you probably have, like guardians and stuff that follow you everywhere you go too. So and him. So just with the 3 of us, anywhere we would go, anywhere, there would be stuff around us. Mm-hmm. So we always have the stuff that's always there. Yeah. And then you have the stuff that's in here, which I'm sure they're peeking in and out, watching us, wondering what we're doing.
And everybody's got spirit guides too, even if you don't believe in them. They're there. Yeah.
And I do need to give a shout out to Chelsea.
Confused most of the time.
Chelsea and Kate, they're members of our team, and they're absolutely amazing. Chelsea Conkel, which is our daughter, I love her very much, and she's huge help. I mean, and Caitlin Falcon. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do our events and everything. Like, they're just amazing team members and wonderful people. So
gotcha. This is the haunting of KGGO.com, a KGGO.com exclusive. As we get ready to wrap things up here, guys, we were talking a little bit about the what?
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Just broken song in the middle of the interview. No big deal.
He does it during investigations too and scares all the ghosts away. Well, it'd be like super active, and then he's like, "Take it easy," and everybody runs.
Well, it's the singing. It's not great.
He scares people.
All right, so as we get ready to wrap up here, you guys do what we were talking about, the study hall stuff. Mm-hmm. Explain to me those things real quick.
And we've got a big event coming up that's not study hall, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But study hall is basically old-fashioned ghost hunt. We get in, and it's like a kind of a fellowship, if you will. They come in, we meet in a classroom, we learn about the history. We have a Q&A. They can ask any questions they ever wanted. Pizza comes with the deal.
Nice.
And then we just take them on an old-fashioned ghost hunt till 4 in the morning. Mm-hmm. usually we have a co-host. We just had Moth on last Saturday.
Yep,
night.
and they were on the show last week.
Yes.
Hauntingkggo.com.
Crazy.
You can find it at the website kggo.com. Shameless plug.
/haunting.
Yay, very good. You're paying attention. I'm still waiting to be that co-host sometime, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have an experience first, man.
Oh, gotcha. I always joke about with Seth. He got to do Seth Olney, the guy we were talking about earlier. I joke around with him about that he got to do the one thing that I've always wanted to do, and it's be on a panel at Comic-Con.
Yes.
And I'm just like, you son of a... That's all I want to do. So anyways, so you guys, these events, if people want to take part in it, they just probably go to the website or Facebook pages.
Yes.
And it's a great way for, people that are like, they want to know about the paranormal, but they're kind of scared to go about it on their, on their own. Don't really know what to do, how to go about it. This is a good way for people to come and just kind of get a look into what it is like and what we do.
And they don't have to be a part of a group. They can just come, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
If you're by yourself, come make friends. I mean, the people that come to our events are just some of the most amazing people, and I have the biggest paranormal family ever. We call each other Family. I mean, it's just growing and huge.
Cool.
So.
All right, so when is the next one coming up?
We have the Halloween Bash coming up last Saturday of this month,
October 26th.
It's we kind of, it's usually a pretty good number of people that come. I do my homemade chili dinners. So you get free chili. There's a costume contest.
Yes, costume contest. Like, people should absolutely come and dress up. Like, it will be amazing.
How funny would that be if you got a really great piece of evidence, but everybody's standing around in costumes? Like, you got like an astronaut.
Yes, that is the way to go.
Somebody in one of those Tyrannosaurus costumes.
Yeah.
But there's a perfect apparition right in the middle.
And you would know it.
All right, so you can find out more about that, haunting at Farrar.com, correct?
Click the event page or go to CNH Paranormal's Facebook page and click our event page. Yeah.
Yes, food, costume contest, amazing investigation.
Cool.
We have 3 other teams with us, Moth, IPIS with Jim Beck and Madison Smith.
Oh, I've met
Madison
Jim before.
Paranormal.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Now, Madison Smith is 11 years old. 12 years old. Just a paranormal wonder child. That's what I love about our events. We get these youngins to come. We just had a 13-year-old and he's 14 now. And their fire is just absolutely amazing. They're probably the ones that are going to get all the answers we've been trying to get forever.
Well, that's kind of maybe the missing piece of the puzzle. Maybe a kid ghost doesn't want to talk to an adult. They want to talk to another kid or something. I don't know. Right. I mean, I can remember being that age, and it's always, for me, it's always been, I might not necessarily believe it, but God, is it fascinating to read and, learn about. So, all right, so you can find all that at the website, haunting@farrar.com. We'll put a link up on the website. CNH Paranormal, you guys got the page on Facebook, and Farrar's got its own Facebook page too, correct? All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. This has been amazing.
I hope you had fun.
Absolutely. You can be talking about ghosts. Look how excited I am now compared to like the beginning of the interview.
She had fun. I'm sitting over here bored stiff because she just keeps talking.
I tried to give you your time. It's not my fault. She's aggressive.
Yes, she is.
You did pick the boiler room. So.
I
know. It's your fault.
There you
get
go.
all wound up. It's not my fault. It's the spirits.
Well, Jacquelyn, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for
you.
inviting me in here. I'm really glad to be able to do this here. It's really cool. So
we'll get you in here on your own day.
All right, cool. All right, this has been the haunting of KGGO.com, a KGGO.com exclusive. We will see you next time for more paranormal fun. See you guys.